Hey, it is the first week of the official Planet EJOBN podcast. Welcome, everybody, to our first recording. With me today, I have our usual suspects. I will let them introduce themselves. My name is Tiffany Stevens, aka Black Mamba, and I'm going to be your host and moderator today. So, Jensen, let's start with you.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Just normally me again on the podcast, my people's man, bringing y'all another great episode of the Extraordinary Journey podcast. And I'm gonna talk about God of High School. I will talk a whole podcast, but Tiffany said I can't talk that long. So, well, pretty much for people not familiar, I'm pretty sure if you've been in a nerd group or Instagram, any nerd, Instagram, Twitter, you've seen God of High School. That is a webtoon or Korean manga. Everybody knows manga, but then in Korean they have manga. Same thing is pronounced differently, if I'm not mistaken. It's a free app you can download on your smartphone, tablet, or whatever, where a bunch of people, they upload, I guess whatever process they go through, they upload it on the Webtoon app, and then just put out episodes.
Jensen, we're doing intros.
I had stopped.
Oh,
I had stopped, but then I was like, just throwing the podcast, and nobody said nothing.
So my mistake. I think that was my cue to come on in.
Yeah,
please.
Stopped, but then nobody say nothing.
You right. I see, brother. I missed.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I missed the lateral assist. I missed it. I missed the lateral assist.
I gave that assist.
He absolutely did, and I missed it. I was looking the other way, girl. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead, Jerry. Oh, my bad, Cassio. Just say your government again. My bad.
No problem. How you guys doing? My name is Cassio of Cassio Logic and of the EGOBN podcast. I'm very happy to be here with you guys today. Thank you all for allowing me to come and talk to you guys today. Before I start, I do want to say rest in peace, Joel Schumacher, the director of the Batman films, Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. So just rest in peace, Joel Schumacher. Thank you guys for letting me come on your podcast.
Even though that movie was terrible, we'll talk about that later. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah.
Well, that was news to me about Joel Schumacher. Other than that, hi everyone. This is the Fall of Marvel. I usually go by FM on here, and we're going to be talking about like some big gaming stuff that came out the last couple of weeks. There's plenty to talk about in that arena. So, we're definitely going to get into that. And we have plenty to look forward to and some things to sort of not really look forward to talking about. But, it is what it is. It seems to be the docket these days. Whenever we get up, we're just trying to figure out, okay, what's going to be on my timeline today. So
yeah. Well, I thank all of you guys for being on. So obviously, like it seems all the time, it seems like we never have enough time to start. So with that, I'm gonna move to Jerry, even though I know Jensen started his, but Jerry was technically supposed to be first. And Jerry,
I'm totally fine with giving Jensen the floor right now. If he's if he has the energy, he's ready to go. Okay, no problem.
So Jerry, I know you wanted to talk about, or I'm sure everybody has seen. If not, I'm sure it will be making its rounds in the news and the comic book movie world about the fact that it looks like the Flashpoint movie might be coming. Like it might be happening. It might be a reality. And there's been news that the great Michael Keaton, the first movie Batman, I'll say that, the first big screen Batman, at least that I know of, will be playing old man Bruce.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and let's get into this.
Okay.
Asking for how long? But go ahead and continue.
You know what?
No, honestly, no, because okay, so I'm sure folks have seen, like, so many folks have kind of shared this whole thing about Michael Keaton basically reprising the role as Batman in the DCEU. And I mean, me personally, like, I think this is actually a really, really, really good move for DC. Because I mean, we can be, honest. The few DCEU movies that we've seen probably haven't really been the best when it comes to, I guess, pleasing the DC fans. But I'm really excited to possibly, see Michael Keaton again reprise the role. So many of us have been waiting to see him in the cowl again, or even see him as Old Man Bruce. Because with the idea that there could possibly be in the future, somewhere down the line, a Batman Beyond film, who better to play the Caped Crusader than Michael Keaton, And I have to say that I actually appreciate I appreciate that DC is now kind of giving us somewhat like fan service. Because I just recently, and please don't kill me, I just recently watched Crisis on Infinite Earths, where the Flash crossed over with Supergirl and they crossed over with Arrow.
Oh, the CW crossover.
Oh,
yeah, the CW.
Okay.
I just saw that like last month.
Okay.
And and I tell you, I've been so busy with school and everything else. I've missed so much. And
man, look. We understand.
Well, there's a lot to the CW crossovers anyway. So I have to admit, I think I only watched the first one. I did not really watch the most recent one with Black Lightning. Well, I saw Black Lightning's part because I watched Black Lightning, but like, I mean, you need to be watching Arrow and then Supergirl and then, the Flash and another crossover, you got to watch DC Legends of Tomorrow. It's a lot. It's a lot right in. So the fact that you haven't watched it until now, man, it's all right because it's a lot to absorb anyway. So
yeah. So I do want to say that Michael Keaton. I want to make sure that we're clear. Michael Keaton is in talks of playing Bruce Wayne. It's not. It's not an official like thing,
right?
But even if he's in talks to play it, to me that's amazing. To me, that's still great. So I think what DC plans to do is they actually plan to start tying together their universes. So that basically means that like Batman and Batman Returns will be tied into the present DCEU. If they were to bring, Michael Keaton back, it would actually like make those films that he was in canon to the DCEU. And that to me, like that's like crossing over because they're trying to do, I feel like a Marvel thing, but in a different way. And I appreciate that DC is even doing that because there's even more happening than just Batman coming back or Batman possibly being Michael Keaton. There's and I know I mentioned this last time we had a conversation, but the Justice League Snyder Cut is I'm not sure if anybody saw the clip of Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, yep. And Darkseid.
And Darkseid, okay. And then it was like Darkseid's army. Like we were watching Endgame all over again, but it was like DC's version of Endgame. It was Darkseid, and then he had a humongous army behind him. And I'm like, yo, this is what like I wanted to see. This is what I wanted to see. I want to see like those moments, those emotional moments, and I want to see like a huge villain that looks as if he can't be defeated. And then we basically watch all of these superheroes, like go to work. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like for me, that's what gets me excited. So I'm probably a little more excited about the Snyder Cut than most people because I was very disappointed in the DCEU in general. The only film that I actually liked was Wonder Woman. And I know a lot of folks disagree with me on that because Man of Steel, they say, is pretty good. And I've seen Man of Steel, and even though I love Superman 2, and I felt like Man of Steel was almost a reprisal of Superman 2, it's something about the feel or the energy of the film. It didn't actually like capture me, But I mean, yeah, that's just me, and that'll have to be a review for like another time, But I mean, Keaton came back. We saw him as Vulture in Spider-Man and everything. So we always kind of, we always kind of relate Michael Keaton to the superhero comic book, universe and everything, and just even hearing him like be in talks for coming back, for Batman to me, it's a phenomenal thing. But even the crossover, I was going to say about the crossover, and I can't forget who was back in time, and they went forward in time, and they met Kevin Conroy. If you guys haven't seen it, I hope I'm not ruining anything. Yeah. I hope I'm not ruining anything.
All right, just so we can put this out there, I have seen the whole crossover. Tiffany, what about you?
Like I said, I saw the part of the crossover that applied to Black Lightning. So the most recent where they brought back like all the Supermans, you know what I'm saying, have, like my boy from Smallville, Kevin Conroy. I have not seen that, but I'm okay if you spoil it because, I ain't got nothing but time. You know what I'm saying? Time and Netflix. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good.
Okay. And I guess it's not too much of a spoiler, but let's at some point they visited Bruce Wayne and he was Kevin Conroy.
Right.
The voice of Bruce Wayne in the animated series. You know what I mean? And I was kind of like, yo, that's Kevin Conroy. Yo. And because I didn't know until I actually saw it myself. Because like I said, I've missed so much.
Right.
I've been all over the place. Now just sitting there watching it, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, and I'm like, wait, I know that person. That is Kevin Conroy. So like DC gave me that moment. You know what I mean? DC gave me that moment. So one thing I think DC has over Marvel is the fact that they have old films that they can kind of go back to. They have people like Linda Carter, as Wonder Woman that they can go back to, and they can kind of, you know what I mean? They can kind of reach out to those people, and they can bring those people into newer works that involve Wonder Woman, and we'll have the nostalgia of seeing Linda Carter as Wonder Woman again, like the stuff like that. It really makes me happy. It really makes me happy. It kind of touches my heart. And I'm like, oh, I like that. I'm a very sentimental person. So when I see these people still reprising their roles, man, it does something to me, Because
I mean, it's always nice when you actually start seeing someone over there starting to appreciate their properties for a change.
Yes, thank you so much for saying that. Jesus.
So like Kyle Jensen, how you feel about the announcement or possibility?
I love it. I like where DC is going. I like where DC is going with all their past movies, even in general. Shazam was good. Wonder Woman was good. I don't care what Buddy over there said. He don't like Wonder Woman. He's crazy.
Right. I agree.
And we're not gonna talk about the greatest that was Man of Steel in the first Dark Knight, and Aquaman, of course. Justice League. We talked enough about that last time.
I agree.
But this, I like this, what they're doing, because I think people been kind of wanting that for like a while, for him to be like an older Bruce Wayne for like a Batman Beyond thing with Robert Pattinson. But that's never going to happen. If it do, it won't be them too. And I do like to throw that in there. I do have high hopes for Robert Pattinson, by the way. I think he's going to be good. And shoot, why not, man? I mean, people's asking for it, give it to him, and that's gonna. No matter what he does with the movie, no matter his role, the fact that if they even just get him a fit, I know the stuff was going all around earlier about him signing or whatever. I don't think none was official, right? If I read right,
it's not official.
Right, it's not official. Yeah.
Supposedly talks are underway. That's as far as it is right now.
Okay, bet. So if they get him officially on the dotted line or whatever role he plays. Whatever he finna be in, that's gonna make money.
Yeah, I'm definitely game. I'm definitely game for that. Because I mean, it's what the fans have been basically saying. Like, hey, guys, why don't you just use Michael Keaton as an older Batman? And you know what I mean? And I'm like, God, it's so simple that it's genius. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's so easy.
Arguably, we've been saying that for probably the past 5 years consistently overall, and it just seems like for the longest WB seems to really turned a blind eye as to what people were kind of like, requesting out of its properties that people love. Because I mean, it's like one of the conversations we've always had was the fact that DC in a lot of ways should be where Marvel is now.
They should have been there before.
Like been there.
Honestly.
Yeah. And it's like, look, it started off decently enough. Like personally, I was one of the people that enjoyed Man of Steel for the most part, like flaws and all, because like I'm aware of the flaws, but there was still something there by the time the movie ended. And then it just felt like it was all undone by BVS because of stuff. So we're just gonna leave it at that. But the announcement for Michael Keaton, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, they kind of gave us hope when they did the crossover Crisis on Infinite Earths, because they opened it up to where it's like, okay, all this stuff is essentially established as its own universe. Whereas Batman 66, Batman 89, all the other DC shows, like even freaking Birds of Prey from 03, which people like forgot about. And it's like they established that as its own Earth. So it's like, okay, so you guys opened up a lot of possibilities here for whenever they have to go back into the multiverse theory.
Yes.
And have to play with that. So, but now, even with that being said, it makes me wonder, like, where they're even going to go with the whole Justice League Snyder Cut thing, because, like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like it's just something that they're going to just do just to appease the fans that really wanted it, because, like, I don't know, like, what kind of role it will play, like, in where they're going forward from here, because, I mean, they could, like, show, like, the little thing, a dark side or whatever. Okay, that's fine, but it's like, is he gonna play more of a role, or he just
like, is he coming? Be right, like, or is y'all actually gonna make a movie where Darkseid is coming, or
right, or is it just like an elongated, like, equivalent to Thanos showing up at the end of the first Avengers? It's just like, it's just like, I'm just like saying at this point, it's like at this point in the game, it's like, why I just don't really see the point outside of it. Just like, okay, could we at least see what he wanted to do? I guess, but I don't. That's just where I'm coming from with it. It's like, I will see it. I just really, I'm not going. I don't have any expectations for it.
Yeah, I don't have any expectations. And I agree with that. It's like, if you're going to show this foreshadowing, and and we already got Wonder Woman 1984 coming out. You know what I mean? We have. And again, Robert Pattinson coming out with the new Batman movie. So it's like, if we show this Snyder Cut, and obviously we're going to have this mural of Darkseid and blah, 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 are we going to put him, like, is he, are all these movies going to lead to a culmination of them having to face him? Because I agree with you, because it's like, obviously Wonder Woman, like I said, 1984 is coming out. I'm sure another Aquaman movie should be in the works, because that sucker was good. Okay, so they should be working on a part 2. But it's like, eventually we need to have Darkseid, like, popping. Like, he needs to be making an appearance if some of this stuff is supposed to be leading to him, him appearing. So I understand. I feel you on that, Kyle. Like, it's cool to have the cut and have her seeing him, but if he's not going to make an appearance, then
honestly. So what I think and what I hope, this is my hope. What I hope is going to happen is that so Zack Snyder makes his Snyder Cut. He releases it on HBO Go, and everybody sees the Snyder Cut. Now, in the event that it's absolutely amazing, that it's leaps and bounds better than the cut that we received in the theatrical version, what I believe could very well happen is then he can be greenlit to create a sequel to his actual, like, the actual Snyder Cut of the film. And that could open the door to exactly that, to a Darkseid army. It could open the doors to us actually seeing the DCEU universe with the Justice League that Zack Snyder had in mind the entire time. You know what I mean? And then I feel like that would be a great service to DC fans. I think that's something that like we actually kind of want to see. Like if we even have like, Wonder Woman seeing possibly a premonition, you know what I mean, of a Darkseid and his army showing up. It could be like, if we don't act now, this is what could happen in the future. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't really know what it signifies, but I can just kind of piece together the possibility of us seeing the Justice League the way Zack Snyder wanted us to see it. And I personally, I don't care what anybody really says. Zack Snyder is a good director. He's a good film director. A lot of folks don't like him. I disagree. I think he's a great film director. I just believe that sometimes directors, their vision, it gets clouded by the people that are involved in the project. Like that happens a lot. And usually the director's vision is the best vision. And it's usually the better thing to go with is the director's vision. So if I get a chance to actually see Justice League in Zack Snyder's original vision, I'm here for it, because I don't know, because I was talking it up like, yo, I got high hopes for the Justice League, yo, Justice League's gonna be lit, Justice League, and then we got what we got, and I'm like, okay.
Like I said, we talked about it last week, so
I know.
Like I said,
Sorry.
Wonder Woman is still nerd. I'm not interested. I'm not
right. She's hey, but how do we know that in Snyder Cut she's not nerfed? That it was.
You're right, but I want somebody to tell me that, and then I watch. I don't want to waste time.
Okay.
I don't want to waste my time.
Let me know.
I mean, there was a lot of. See, that's what makes you want to choose.
That the Age of Ultron was kind of whack. I probably wouldn't have wasted my time with the second Avengers movie. You know what I'm saying? So I mean. I kind of want somebody to tell me, so I'm gonna rely on y'all to let me know if she's still nerfed, and then I waste my time. Like I don't want to, because I can find stuff on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like I can find little clips on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to watch the whole movie if her character explicitly hasn't changed. Like it's just
right.
But we got about 3 minutes left on this topic, so let me chime in really fast as we got away from a little bit. So
I do apologize. It kind of turned into more of a DC Universe thing in whole. I'm so sorry.
Y'all already know my goal is for us to stay on like time this week. So I'm gonna try to stick to that. But I guess my whole thing is, one, I'm disappointed that Ezra Miller is still a Flash. We talked about it. I don't like him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm disappointed that he's still a Flash. Like I'm fine with the movie concept, because I'm sure we all seen the animated Flashpoint, and I think it literally is probably, for me, is one of DC's best animated movies for me.
It's still top 3.
But I don't like Ezra.
It's top 3.
I wanted a different. I was hoping he wouldn't be coming back, but I guess I got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? If the Flashpoint movie, comes to fruition or whatever. I personally
write him better. I wouldn't mind it. Like that. My main thing is just write him better.
No. Okay. Not only do we,
but we'll put it this way. To put it this way. To be honest, it's like the way you feel about Ezra Miller. It's like, I know a lot of people still love Gal as Wonder Woman, but like I still would have preferred somebody else's Wonder Woman.
And that's fine. That's fine. But we talk about my opinion of Ezra right now. So that's
I totally get it. I totally get it. Like he's definitely not my first pick is Flash.
Because like I said, like I feel like his Flash needs to be completely rewritten. Completely. In order. And that includes his terrible running. If his arms are still flailing out, cancel it. Okay, cancel him if his arms are still flailing. I don't want to see it. Okay, he get his arms together and run like a track star, and maybe we could talk. We could work.
But I mean, he is technically run like a track star.
Not
just only when they jump over hurdles. That's
not with
like
them arms. Yeah, when they jump over hurdles.
They got the hurdles.
I don't know.
Trying to get their leg over real quick.
I don't know all that flailing he was doing in that movie.
Them arm flailing, boy, I can't stand it.
No, you know what? You're right. That's true. I'm not giving too much credit. You're right.
Everybody else about oh my God, Michael Keaton. I do agree with everybody else's sentiment about Michael Keaton becoming, old man Bruce. I think he's perfect. Obviously, he was my first introduction to. Honestly, he was my first introduction to Batman. Not that I had never heard of Batman, like in the comics, but like movie-wise, theatrical-wise, even TV show-wise. Like even though I was young and I, remember the Batman series on TV with Adam West, but I didn't watch it constantly. And and his version was my like first real introduction, I'll say, to the character, and I thought he was fantastic in both movies. So I think him coming back as possibly coming back as Old Man Bruce would be amazing. I agree with all of you as well about hopefully getting a Batman Beyond, even though I will always be salty that we do not have a Nightwing movie. I will always be salty. I don't think I'll ever let the fact that we did not get Nightwing.
Oh, I'm salty.
Oh well, considering
I'm salty.
Wait, what? There's too many people talking.
We know why you want a Nightwing movie, Tiff.
Why do I?
You want to see that man in them tights? She trying to see that. She's trying to see that Dick Grayson. That's what she's trying to see.
She wanted to see Kate,
but
trying to see that Dick Grayson.
First of all, live recording that other people are going to hear. Jensen, okay. That may or may not have any kind of relevance. I don't appreciate being attacked. Thank you. No,
I'm gonna be honest with you. No, straight up, Tiffany, though, real quick, because Dick Grayson, that's my favorite DC character, and I'm mad as hell that we have not got a proper Robin out of all of these Batman films. And then Zack Snyder has a nerve, and I'm sorry, I know he's a good director, but still, I'm upset because of this. Zack Snyder basically gives us Robin in the form of a costume that has Joker written all over it. Ha, whatever.
Bruce did not clean off.
Wow, it's true he didn't. But it's it's like wow, that's Dick Grayson. Like seriously, like really, like all this time we can't get a Robin. We just can't get a Robin.
Can't get a Robin.
And that is one of my biggest gripes.
I thought we were gonna get one. When I think we all saw obviously the Dark Knight series, Christopher Nolan's Vision. I thought we were going to get one with my boy Joseph Gordon-Levitt at the end. Like I thought he was going to, when Batman is all in Paris or whatever with Catwoman, which by the way I think I like her as Catwoman. That's another story. But he basically gave Joseph his character keys to the kingdom, and I thought. When he revealed that his name was Dick, you know what I'm saying? At the end, I was like, whoa, like I thought that he was going to be our Nightwing. And I will never get over the fact that we will probably not see Nightwing on the big screen. We might, I guess, in a realm of possibilities and comic movies, I'm sure it might happen. But I feel like we should have had, like you said, we only had Robin in
Batman and Robin.
Like Batman Forever was our only Robin. I think it wasn't.
What Batman Forever and Batman and Robin? It was Chris O'Donnell.
Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. But I feel like that is definitely a character that we could have seen transition into Nightwing by now. So I think I'll just be a little salty.
But instead we have edgy Titans Nightwing right now.
Just God. I don't want to.
Okay, so with that,
we will have some choice words for that one, but
we can't.
We gotta move on. So
they never do him any justice. Jesus Christ! I'm sorry.
We're gonna have to come back to that at the end with the ending thoughts. If you would, we're gonna go ahead and transition.
Moving on.
We're gonna stay on task. So our next subject, and now Jensen can, it's Jensen's time to shine, get his light skin shine on. We are gonna. Jensen wanted to talk about the fact that God of High School, which is a webtoon, is getting ready to become animated. So I believe it's getting ready to show on either Crunchyroll or Funimation.
It's actually gonna be Crunchyroll. That's a good question. No, actually, it's gonna be strictly Crunchyroll, I do believe.
Okay, well, Jensen, go ahead. Let's talk about it.
As I was saying, it's Korean manga. Like Japanese manga, Korean manga. The hype for it is pretty much it's like this. God of House. If there was there's always big three and things like got the big three anime, the big three in DC, like Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. God of High School be and Mori Jin, the main character, be one of the big three of webtoons for now. I think probably forever, because he just caught on like so fast. It started off as a simple kid, and the God of High School, High School is a national tournament. Then it turns into it might have some for the people that's in mythology, because it had the things called borrowed powers, where they borrow powers from like different mythological people. Like
Mm.
like Jin Moore is based off the Monkey King. He has the pole, the gourd, and everything. The jade they have the Jade Emperor in it. They have the Nine-Tails Fox in it. They have Zeus. They have Pandora, the girl that opened Pandora, the one that opened Pandora's box. I believe is Pandora actually her name? That opened Pandora's box.
I believe so. If I
they have
recall.
a character based off her that actually brought, like, you know how when she opened up all the diseases or whatever, I guess plagues came out of the world on Pandora's box. Do I got that right?
Yeah, it was. I forget. Like, it was like a bunch of like terrible stuff that came out, and
so
then
pretty
left
much
hope
she has
inside, and
abilities
blah blah blah.
She has abilities that when she releases a borrowed power of Pandora, like people get real sick. They, you know, do this, they do that. You know, Hades shows up. Michael, you know, the Archangel, is a character of him. It's a lot, man. You know, you get a bunch of different. It has over the top stuff. You know, a bunch of different crazy powerful. You know, it's God of High School came out about almost like 8 years ago.
Wow, really?
About 5. It's over. It's been out for some years because it's pushing 500 chapters right now.
Oh my God!
I've been read in like a month. I had stopped reading and watching anime, everything. I was like binge watch. It took me like a month. You know, now it's so popular. Then on Webtoons, you can do a fast pass, which I don't do, where you pay like extra $5 and you actually get the chapters, the 3 chapters that haven't came out. You get them, because the thing about him, he releases new chapters every week. It's gonna be one.
My goodness.
It's been times where he didn't drop for like holidays or whatever, but every week on a Thursday over here.
Now, bro, you're working his ass off.
8, 9 at night, 7 o'clock. That's the day a new episode drops. The guy is, and it is a guy actually. I'm not just saying it because, but no, I looked at the author. He's a guy. He is consistent. You know, then like I said, the people that fast pass, like they're 3 chapters ahead of me right now because of what you get with the fast pass. You can do that with anybody. I think any of them as well. But yeah, it's from what I read. Now this is me now. Now we come back later on some couple episodes. We have to bring it back up. It might be debut, but the first episode is supposed to debut next month of the animated, because we already seen the trailers for it. Well, like 1 or 2 trailers for it already. But yeah, it's a. Now will he be on like Goku, Superman type popularity? I don't think so. No, I highly doubt it. But he amongst the nerd community. You know, if you say God of High School,
somebody know
like 7 times out of 10. No, about 8, 9 times out of 10, somebody will know something about it. In any group, from our group to Urban Anime Lounge to my page, somebody will know who it is. That's why the hype's gonna be real. I'm excited for it. I say at least check it out yourself. You know, because I know Tiffany's very picky about what anime she watches. She don't just watch anything. And I don't know if you have a Crunchyroll account. Actually, do you? Does everybody have a Crunchyroll account?
I got one.
I say when the drop, at least give like 1 or 2 per episodes. Because even when I read the chapters, it kind of started out slow, but it depends on how they're doing it. But you know, the building, when they get going, So
I might have to check it out. I've seen info about it, but I never watched it. I might have to check it out.
I tell you what, if y'all, like I said, that it doesn't matter your phone. The app is free. It's on a free app called Webtoon. That's where. Well, you know the Mount Olympus Webtoon.
Yeah, I got Webtoon. I have a Webtoon.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, you already got that. I say just check it out.
Hi.
Well.
And then yeah, that's what I got to say on it. If you know Terrence was here, he'd back me up, but he couldn't make it. But Terrence is into it just deep down. I think he started reading before I did. He started reading before I did.
I might have to check it out because I do have Webtoons because that's how I got hooked on Lord Olympus, and it is fantastic.
Man, we need to talk about that one episode.
We do. You know what? We're gonna add it.
Well,
We're gonna add it to the next time because I am hooked on Lord Olympus. Okay, I understand that the artist needed. You know, she's on like a break right now, and new season 2, I guess, will start this fall. But man, I need to talk about Lord Olympus with somebody, so we can add that to the roster for next time. But I have been looking for other stuff to like read on there, because I mean they have like literally a little bit of everything, and it's a lot on Webtoon. And I'm new to Webtoon. Like I think I only started a Webtoon account maybe like earlier this year, maybe late last year, simply because I wanted to read Lord Olympus because I had heard so much about it, and I'm a Greek mythology nut. So you know what? I might add God of High School to my list and read through it, and you know, never know, it may make me want to watch it because I'm always so if it's good, I'll check it out.
That sounds like something to look forward to.
Does anybody else read God of High School besides Jensen?
I've heard a lot of stuff about it. I have friends who've kept up with that, and basically it was always that and I've always heard it, that and Tower of God, like talked about in the same breath. So it's like if like somebody's talking about one, them talking about the other is not too far behind. So like I'm aware of the hype that the series has. So with it actually having an animation coming along with it, like I think that's pretty awesome, and it gives a person who was late to the party like myself time to kind of get into it and stuff and possibly catch up in the long run. You know, I can't wait to see what it does, man. Like I've already been behind when it comes to like the current anime. So I think like the only thing I've caught up with was probably Baki on Netflix. I think that's like the most recent thing I've caught up with, which honestly, this last one was pretty disappointing in a lot of ways, the way it ended. I don't know. But other than that, I just love stuff that have really good concepts, and then it pays off, and just kind of be like, hey, you know, could we basically just put this, like, just go full throttle with it and just give it to the masses and see where it goes, and hopefully it eventually reach classic level, like when it's all said and done, man. Like, you know, I like seeing like new stuff come up and really like leave impressions like that on people. I mean, that's kind of how I felt about like My Hero Academia when it first started gaining traction, you know, and I still enjoy the series. So, you know, I'm looking forward to some new stuff.
Yeah. Jerry, have you read God of High School, or do you know about it?
I have not. Yeah, I haven't. I have to admit, like, I haven't really been I guess on like mangas, and I don't really read a lot of mangas like I should. You know what I'm saying? I just usually have a lot of things going on. Like films are usually like my my focus more than anything else. God, I wish I had the time. I mean, it sounds awesome to be completely honest with you.
I'm with you. I'm not a manga reader either. I don't have.
I wish.
I don't. Like he said, 500 volumes or whatever that was. Chapters. I'm like, what? No, I don't.
Even that's a lot. Chapters. Holy crap.
Yeah, I don't. That's like, I haven't even bothered getting into One Piece. Nope. I don't.
Agreed.
I was just getting ready to ask you that.
Agreed.
Nope.
I'm like,
I even heard about how many episodes was in the anime, and I'm just like, oh no.
Y'all better chill out. The One Piece fans are deadly. Y'all better chill out talking about that.
No.
I'm a One Piece fan too, but the other ones.
It ain't no shade, my brother. It ain't no shade.
No shade at all. I'm just saying I don't have that kind of time.
I mean, that's understandable. I think like it's kind of interesting because I think one of my friends said how he caught up was that all he did was just watch the recap at the beginning of every episode and then just skip to the next one. like without having to watch the whole episode. So like that's definitely one way you could catch up quickly.
Wow.
Because you know how like each episode has like literally the whole recap of the previous episode, and it's like because I think they spend at least 3 minutes like recapping the previous episode before starting a new one, and just like damn, like you can't.
So you ain't got to.
We're just watching the recap.
You ain't even got to watch the previous episode. That sounds fantastic.
Right.
Ooh, that might be a. How you gonna hack? How you gonna have a life hack for like catching up on anime? That's some.
Hey, if they give you the option to do it, I mean, you find some kind of way because I mean, if folks want to get into One Piece and didn't start back in '99 when it first got,
Jesus, that's when it started.
It was like 99-ish, like 98, 99-ish, if I recall. So yes,
you are correct. It was definitely like 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the year I graduated. You. 1999.
Yeah, One Piece has been around that long. Yes.
Man, that's impressive.
Like, that might have been like the first series I think that just like went longer than Dragon Ball. I think as a whole series, if I recall.
I think it's like one more other manga. Terrence knows it. It's like one more manga, I think, or two more that actually are running longer,
right?
In One Piece. Now,
right?
Isn't Dragon Ball one of them? Oh, I thought it was. I've been on for damn ever. I thought it was still going on.
But I know American Comic Wise, Detective Comics, which Batman, American Action Comics, Superman, both are past 1,000.
Oh,
so
I can see that.
Those two, and I think one other manga, maybe two more, they actually are running longer than One Piece. Anything else, nothing else can run longer than One Piece today. He said he still got at least like 5 to 6 more years left of stuff.
Wow. Good. I was hoping you'd say 5 or 6 more seasons. This man said years. Holy
oh my God.
Crap.
I can't know.
He's like, I'm not done yet.
Jesus Lord. Maybe 5 or 6 more episodes. Golly. What's it?
Oh no.
Yeah, he don't really take hiatuses, or like I don't know how they do it, because I hear a lot of months stop because authors just the demand is so high. He just I think he has like a whole team that they all write similar, but I could be wrong, don't get me lying. But whatever he's doing great at it as far as constantly putting stuff out.
Apparently so, because folks still consuming it. It's just like One Piece has been like top selling manga for like so many years straight. Like I forgot like what I know at some point it might have been My Hero that might have surpassed it 1 year. But it's just like One Piece was like #1 seller for like year after year after year for like a really long time. And like even then, like eventually it still takes back the #1 spot. So it's just nuts.
Yeah. What about Detective Conan? I thought that was like a super long series.
Is it Detective Comics?
The Detective Conan, sorry.
Like Detective Conan. Basically a case closed. Case closed, basically.
Right, case closed. Right.
But I mean, I don't know. Like case closed like took breaks though too, didn't it?
But isn't it still ongoing right now? Isn't it also like one of the longest running?
I think it is, but like I think it was revived at one point.
I see what you're saying. Right. So you said One Piece never took a break.
Right.
They didn't come up for air at all.
Right.
if they did take a break, I don't remember.
It was a very short one. If they did,
that's what I was trying to say. Yes,
they hit it very well.
Right.
I got you.
So yeah, like it's just crazy. But like yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what the new stuff has to offer, man. Like,
absolutely, I'm gonna get that Crunchyroll sign in. I'm gonna get that information.
Oh my brother, you gotta get your own.
If it's your first time when it dropped, you could do like a free trial for like a week, I think, or something like that.
Oh, that's what's up. I ain't gonna be able to finish watching the whole series in 1 week, so we're gonna have to work something out. You right?
That's right. Man, like the moment you start,
I appreciate that though.
The moment you start looking at that library, you're gonna start adding a lot of stuff to your queue, though.
Yes,
So
sir.
don't count on you trying to catch up on everything in a week.
Of course, it's like I'm already hip, and that's what I'm afraid of too. That's probably why I ain't did Crunchyroll yet, because I'm like, I'm not going to get nothing done. I already know.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot on there.
Nothing going to get done. But I feel you. I feel you.
All right.
Good stuff.
All right. Anything you want to add? Else you want to add on about it, Jensen, or anybody else?
No, ma'am, I'm good.
Hey, we finished the subject early. Look at us. Look at us. We're proud of us.
Okay.
Cool.
You right. High five. You right.
Virtual high five. Okay.
All right.
With that, we're gonna move on to a topic that's kind of pretty big, pretty hefty, which is gaming. And obviously, as we all know, there is a lot to talk about in the gaming world right now, but we're going to try to contain it a little bit to just a couple of subjects, which is the PS5 reveal. I don't have a PlayStation, so obviously people on here that's got a PlayStation, chime in and discuss about that. I do have something I want to talk about, which is The Last of Us 2. Obviously, not giving spoilers. I don't play the game because I don't have a PS5, but specifically, it seems the world becoming up in arms about the lead character being a lesbian and how her love story apparently is really entwined in this game. And then, obviously, it was just announced a little bit ago before we started the podcast about how Mixer is going away, and Microsoft is getting rid of Mixer, and instead they're just gonna somehow blend gaming, recording, and all that other kind of stuff into Facebook gaming, which I don't know if I'm a fan of Facebook gaming. I don't know.
I'm not even sure what that is.
Yeah, so with that and with this one, so we're gonna go ahead and start talking about all of that. So Kyle, you want to go ahead and lead us off?
Yeah, definitely. Well, probably the biggest news that we had the past couple weeks was the PlayStation showcase, where they showed a lot of the first party stuff. We saw gameplay. We had announcements. They teased us Spider-Man Miles Morales. Which that has motivated me to go back to playing Spider-Man. For those that have been following me, I have been playing the City That Never Sleeps DLC, which I am flabbergasted that there was so much content in that DLC for $25. So like when I first got it, like it's been cheaper than that since, but I got it day one. But it's like even then, a lot of the stuff that's in it is like worth way more than what you pay for. Like you get a lot for that. So, and because I think like overall, like if you're not blazing through everything with that DLC just alone, like that's like a good extra maybe 12 to 18 hours of content just for that. So with this,
so wait a minute, because is that a DLC or a whole separate game? Is that like added content, or is it I thought it was?
It's like a 3-part added content that they added. Like after the game came out, you had the core game, and then they had the additional DLC, which is $25 for all 3 parts, and like each one essentially is like its own story that you complete, which gives you more than you bargained for. To be honest, like there's a lot that you get to do in that DLC, and it's like. And it's full DLC. It's like it's almost like it's almost like it was part of it. Like it could have been in the game. Like it's full motion cutscenes, a lot of dialogue, a bunch of. It's like it's literally like almost its own standalone game after the fact.
Okay.
So again, them announcing this and a lot of the things that they announced, the reveal of the console itself, and them revealing both a digital and the optical drive version, like side by side at launch. It's been really interesting. Only thing is that we still have yet to see a price point. A lot of rumors are saying it's going to be probably around $500 retail, which is its best shot to kind of like stay in it, because like honestly, like anything higher than that, you might as well buy a PC typically. But that's kind of what hurts Microsoft a little bit more, because we know like those are more than likely going to be around the same price points. But if you already have a built PC, there's no point in you buying an Xbox. So, but PlayStation has a lot going for it right now. They actually had a lot to show so far, and a lot of what they showed is pretty good. Like it's pretty good. It's got me interested. Horizon 2. What else did they show? The Ratchet and Clank, that looks good. Some of the other stuff isn't like very much first party, but even the Sackboy Big Adventure game looks fun. And we just have a lot to look forward to. So aside from that, we did mention that Microsoft is shutting down Mixer.
Well, hang on.
But yeah,
hold on. Before we talk about that, I want to talk about Last of Us really quick because it's PlayStation.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So, and again, I don't own a PlayStation. I have not owned a PlayStation since PS2. I am an Xboxer, but I found like articles when Last of Us 2 came out, and obviously gameplay started happening. For people, in my opinion, who kind of either really love the game or don't really have anything else to do. Some people are done with the game already. So either the game is quick, or they ain't got too much to do, or it was so good they couldn't put it down. Might have been a mix, but I did read like some gaming message boards and some of the gaming groups I'm in about players, mainly male players. So I'm talking to males on this podcast, the men players, being a little upset that she's a lesbian, the main character, and I'm assuming from what I've read that her love life is a part of the game in this one. Obviously, I don't know if it's been a part of the previous game, but apparently it plays a role in this game, and some people are upset about that. Now, we all know homophobia and racism is big in gaming community in general. So what do you all think is, I mean, do you guys believe that that's just what it is? Why are people so upset that she's a lesbian? Like, do people believe that lesbianism isn't real? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you guys think it's pandering? Like, what do you guys think?
No, like, I put it this way. I didn't know who was going to start first, but I put it this way. First off, we pretty much knew that she was gay, like for like the past year and a half. So that's not news. So, other than that, you kind of have to take personal involvement with a lot of people's lives in the game like this. I mean, I'm pretty sure in the first, I still have yet to play the first game, and I know a lot of the relationship was I don't know who the guy's name is, but the guy who was basically watching over Ellie or whatever. I'm pretty sure was that his name?
Joel. Yeah.
Joel. Okay. So it's like, I'm sure that a majority of that game was like showcasing a surrogate father and daughter relationship, because I don't think they're biologically related, correct?
That's correct.
Right. So I'm sure the majority of that game was essentially a father-daughter dynamic, with him trying to protect her, because obviously she's obviously much younger in the first game as compared to this one. Right. So obviously, with now Ellie kind of taking the role, like the lead role in this game, obviously a big part of that is trying to balance everything that she's gone through with trying to have some type of normalcy in her life. So it just so happens that she is gay. Okay, cool. If a lot of that plays into the character, then that's just what the hell it is. I mean, it's like when it boils down to it, it's gonna come down to homophobia, because it's like, hey, a good portion of because again, we were talking about Spider-Man. Like, doesn't a lot of his personal relationships play into his story?
Right.
Yes, it does. So all what it comes down to is that you just don't like the fact that this is a a gay lead character. It's like, look, Thanos said it best.
Dreaded, run from it, destiny still arrives.
So
Really?
Wow. That was dope. That was dope.
So that's my input on it.
I'm sorry, that was pretty good though. I wasn't expecting it. But
I wasn't
that
ready
was
for
pretty
that.
good. Jerry, do you have any thoughts on it? On this? Jerry? Cassio?
Did he step
Jensen,
away?
are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well,
Well,
Jensen, you
Jensen's
want to
there.
chime in? I don't know where Cassio is. Do you want to chime in, Jensen? What do you think about it? About it all?
On Last of Us or
Yeah,
PS5?
about people being up,
Well,
up
yeah.
in arms about her character being a lesbian.
Yeah, I mean, you could talk about the PS5 stuff too if you want.
Yeah,
but
you can. Yeah, you can. You can.
I mean, well, first on the Last of Us thing, it's like it's 2020 now. Like it's there.
Right.
It's there. It's not like 93, 94, 95. We still playing Mortal Kombat 2 on Sega.
Right.
You know, some stuff is like, okay, they've been having homosexuals in games even before we even knew what it was. You know,
Yeah.
it's everywhere. You know, ain't like it's something new. They probably feel, the people that's complaining about it probably feel like, well, they're just pushing it on this. I'm like, gee, like, play the game. Some things, play the game, my dog. You know, like if you don't want to play the game because it was obvious if you want to play it, if you don't want the game because you don't buy it, then
Right.
you're lost. I've never played Last of Us because I've never had a PlayStation. I haven't had a PlayStation since 2. So I've been strictly Xbox, but I know how great the game is though.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I watch my people play it when they play it. I watch YouTube videos on it, and then just hearing people speak on it. I know it's a great game. So they're just fussing just to be fussing. And the PS5, I'm actually going back to PlayStation. I'm actually gonna have the next Xbox and the next PlayStation.
Oh, look at you. Send me
Big
one.
baller.
You know, and
Big
I mean,
baller.
I'm actually getting it. I'm actually getting it. My main system will be Xbox, but certain games like PlayStation anime games, I'm a big anime fan, so certain games they get that we won't get anime wise.
That is the one thing I can agree with you on. I don't really want a PlayStation because I just nothing against PlayStation at all. I just kind of don't want it, but I do agree they get a lot more anime games, and that is probably the one thing I'm truly jealous of. Is they get a lot more.
Yeah. And just to add on that, and I think like a lot of people really didn't know this at first, but I know a lot of people were making a big deal with the Xbox having that smart delivery function with some games where essentially whenever you buy like a game that's coming out like holiday before like games just come out with like the Xbox Series, whatever, or the PS5 logo on it, those specific games are going to have upgraded data for the PS5 hardware and so on and so forth. So PlayStation is doing, with that being said, like PlayStation is doing the same exact thing. So far, they've confirmed that Cyberpunk 2077 will have that upgrade later down the road.
Boom.
In the meantime, it will be backwards compatible, but essentially they're going to have that upgrade data for the next gen consoles. So you don't have to buy like a second PS5 or Xbox Series X version of the game because that just downloads straight to your system.
Take notes, Nintendo.
Right.
Okay.
So it was another game. There's another game recently they just confirmed was going to have it too, but I can't really recall it now. But it's obvious which obviously it's really smart and really ingenious if you really think about it. So It's like you don't have to like wait, like buy it and then get mad when they release like a PS5 disc or anything like that. It's just like, no, you ain't got to do that. Just pop it in there, and once the software is ready, you can still play it until then, and you'll be able to take advantage of the hardware when it comes out. So they're gonna have that on both systems. So it's really just going to depend on how you go, you know. Either way it goes, it doesn't really seem like you can go wrong with them. What it's going to come down to is how good their first party titles are going to be.
Right.
And Xbox still has yet to show us something really good aside from Hellblade 2.
Which I'm looking forward to, by the way, because that game is tight.
Like, I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. Like, I would say I'm looking forward to it because, like, the first game was very interesting to me. But
it was.
It's like Microsoft going, y'all just like, dude, y'all gonna have to show us something because like y'all can't just keep showing us trailers and not showing gameplay. Like that's
like, I mean, obviously, you know. Well, hold on. So let me go back really fast before I jump to this. Again, I talked about a little bit when we kind of came onto the subject about Last of Us 2. So I guess my whole thing is like, as all of you have said, and Jerry, we was calling for you, but
I know. I know. In the private chat, I put up.
You know, lesbianism is as old as time, in my opinion. It may not have been written about, you know what I'm saying, but you know, people being lesbians, people being gay, it's as old as time. You know, there aren't that many that I can think of off the top of my head right now. There aren't that many games out right now where people's where lesbianism is in the forefront in a game. This is not a fighting game. You know what I mean? It's not a fighter game. It is, you know, first person, first story. You are immersed in her life. This is her life. Her love is a part of her life.
Right.
Just like any other game that we played that had some kind of a love connection, whatever that was, whether it was platonic, like you talked about with the first Last of Us game. I mean, for anybody that's played the Telltale Walking Dead games, you know, Clementine and it's a father-daughter thing. Clementine and my man, who was the man that saved her, the black guy. I cannot remember his name off the top of my head. But when he dies, you know what I'm saying? He became like a surrogate father. It was love. You know, it was familial love, but it was love. You know what I mean? So people's relationships in games like this are a part of them. You know, so in this game, if something happened to the woman that she loved and it made her do whatever it is that she does in this game, how can you be mad at that? You know, preconceived notions where, you know, maybe some people like really liked her and wanted to be hetero. I need people to kind of let some of that shit go. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, you know, whatever your preconceived notion, whatever you may want her to be, obviously the developers and the writers and whatever, they have a vision for who she is. And I'm going to need people to let some of them preconceived notions and what they want her to be go. Because like you all said, y'all not, you know, the people complaining, y'all not in the room, y'all not writing the games, y'all not making the games. You know, so if you have a problem, then make a game yourself and shut up. And like y'all said, don't play it. You know, if you find out that and it bothers you that much, don't play it. You know, trust me, the game studio ain't gonna miss your little $60. There's a whole lot of other people out there that want to play this game.
Right. No, I
stop complaining. Like, it's annoying when people like really truly just don't want to. Oh, she's a lesbian, I don't want to play it. Okay, all right, but y'all was playing. What was that? Grand Theft Auto, and there was a prison sex scene. What was that? Was that Grand Theft Auto?
Look, GTA lets you pull over, get a hooker, and you can make whoopee inside of the vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Like GTA, they wild.
Right, and don't gotta work out sex scenes itself too.
Yeah. Off screen, but yeah. And
okay.
The thing is that like, well, on top of that, like I think I remember like it was something that like similar, like people got upset about. I think it was in Mafia 3.
Mafia 3.
It was like it was Mafia 3 where it was like one of the boss guys or whatever, like, you know, he was getting down with another dude. Yeah. And it's like, well, it's like, okay, but the thing is like, it's two reasons. Number one, look, there's been a lot of same-sex attraction for as long as humans have been around. Okay, it's just whatever.
Of course.
Secondly, it's not something that it's not even like a part of the game where you have to get into. Like that's literally like an optional area anyway.
Right,
so it's like,
right.
it's like okay. It's just like okay. Like first of all,
like we've been playing games with hetero characters for years. Hell, Geralt of Rivia, you get it on with Yennefer. Okay,
right.
I mean, and it's like explicit scenes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've been doing that for a long time. So, I mean, so what? She's a lesbian. I just need for people to like get over it, cut out the hetero preconceived notions, and like this is it. Just play the game. Like it's not that serious. Like it's not going to be the end of the world. You're already playing as a girl.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the end of the world if you're a girl that is in love with another girl or woman.
Girl. Right. I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. And I did want to actually mention something about Last of Us 2. My mic wasn't working earlier for some reason. However, it's like what I believe and what I think honestly, because I think I've actually heard this before. Is the like I think it's like Jensen said earlier, is forcing it upon people. Like we don't want the sexualization of like characters. Like people got mad when I guess SpongeBob was announced as gay, and people said like, you know, it's a cartoon and we don't feel like it should be sexualized. You know, like it's just a cartoon and we don't, you know what I'm saying? When our kids just enjoy the cartoon, we don't really have to know what sexual preference like SpongeBob had. You understand what I'm saying? That was an issue. Right. People that I've actually like, you know, read online and stuff and just looking around and everything, people complaining like it's a cartoon. We want my 5-year-old be able to watch the cartoon but not have to, you know, be introduced to sexuality at that age. So I think that it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like parents don't want their children kind of introduced to sexuality, you know, at the age or whatever that they're introduced at. But I also believe, aside from that, I also believe that there are people who simply aren't comfortable with the idea, just in general. But you know, if we look at the conditions of the world right now and how high race relations are, you know, and we look at how, you know what I'm saying, like there are people who still don't accept, you know, black people, you know what I'm saying, as like equals. There's people who still to this very day are still like living in the Stone Age, you know what I'm saying, and you know, they're not accepting of, you know, other human beings. You know, I want to make sure I put out human beings. You know what I mean? Like people have these like reservations about these human beings. Me personally, because I played through the game. I played through Last of Us Part 1. That was a fantastic game. I played from start to finish. I loved it. And something about, you know, Ellie told me that like, I think she might, you know, she might be a lesbian. You know what I'm saying? It didn't bother me though. I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool as hell because I felt like her character is based off of Ellen Page, you know, like the love of my life. You know, she's not really, but I think she's amazing. I fucking love Ellen Page. You know what I'm saying? It is like, but you know, Ellen's gay, and it's like, yo, this is what it is. This is who it is. These are human beings, and they can do what they want to do in their personal lives. And if we're playing, it's called an action RPG. If we're playing an action RPG, like for instance, Metal Gear Solid, you know, if we're cool with him chasing Meryl around and having this whole thing with Meryl, you know what I mean, in this action RPG, then like, why is this any different? In my opinion, like, why is this any different? You know what I mean? So like if anyone is listening out there that's upset that Last of Us 2, you know, features a lesbian main character, you know, my message to you is just kind of like, don't make this about you and the way you see things. These are people. These are human beings. You know, let's say, for instance, the main character, Ellen, is based off of a real human being and a real person. Like, who are we to judge her and who she loves? Who are we to judge anything but her journey? You know, like, give it a shot and see what it looks like. See what it looks like through the eyes and through, you know, the experience of a person who is lesbian. You know what I mean? Like, she's a human being like everybody else. She's not any different than any other person that's walking the earth. You know, like, it's a little upsetting in a way because if you even look at it, this is the extraordinary journey of a black nerd. You know, that's what basically like this is. This is our extraordinary journey, but there's also other minorities too that have extraordinary journeys as well.
Right.
And what that means is that any walk of life that you deem, whatever it is that you deem, you know, I'm not going to say anything, but like whatever you say about these people, whether they be, you know, from the LGBT community, whether they are Spanish, Mexicans, Black people, any minorities or whatever, it's you know, this is the time right now for you to put aside that prejudice, put aside all of that, and play the freaking game. Like, play it. You know what I mean? Like, play it through the eyes of somebody else that has to go through things like this, because we don't know. There may actually be an instance where she's mistreated because of her sexual preference. I mean, I doubt it, but that may be something in there, and that's very real to how we live today. It's very real. It may open your eyes to something. You know, it may open your eyes.
Like, people may be missing out on some great games.
Exactly.
Of course.
I can forget great games, great people, great human beings. You're missing out on human beings. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just like, you know what I mean? It's not just like the game aspect itself. I guess it is in a way, but it's like these are representative of actual human beings. That's like my thing. It's not like the game itself that I have an issue with. It's the fact that these games represent actual human life, and there are people who are boycotting actual human life. That's my issue.
Which in the end is a problem, because at the end of the day, it's like, again, these are people that are just trying to live life just like everybody else.
Exactly.
Or even a better. Sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, even one thing. These are people trying to live life, but these are people.
And
period.
as we stated before,
feel me?
For years we've been playing as white males.
Boom.
White male
Yes.
stories,
Boom.
hetero all the time, womanizers, abuse, you know, certain games, womanizers, other games.
Come on, finna have church up in here. Come on.
I mean, we've been playing like that forever. You know what I'm saying? So we're starting to get more characters that are characters of color. You know, we're getting very diverse storylines. You know, if people don't think more LGBTQ characters are coming, especially in either primary or very close secondary roles in gaming, because I mean, we've already got the cartoons, you know, Steven Universe, and you know, and certain characters in Adventure Time, you know, I mean, as we all know, there's characters on Craig of the Creek where a set of parents are gay men who are married. I mean, so if people don't think that gaming is next, you're gonna be a little more.
It's like, no, not my games.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, bro. Your whole life, you have to accept other human beings, like it or not. You cannot live in your little bubble. You know what I'm saying? And then like boycott everything that's coming out, because like, guess what? Human beings are going to be human beings. And the reason why we need more games like this is so that it becomes the norm.
Exactly.
It has to become the norm. Like, seeing people in the LGBT community has to become the norm.
And let's not forget, I'm sure plenty of gamers out here who whining also be looking up hentai that have this same topic.
Right. So it's exactly. So it's like check this out too.
A whole other subject, but let's not.
Yeah, but even like you said too, like one last thing about this too, even like what you said earlier, Tiffany, it's like we've had these boring white male protagonists. Like, even like I said earlier, like Solid Snake is a white male protagonist. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're tired of it. We're bored with these characters.
Right.
Me personally, I'm bored. I'm bored. You know, that's if I play any game now, I'm either choosing I'm either choosing a female or I'm choosing a person of color. That's literally all if I can make my own character, if I ever like choose any kind of avatar right now, it is going to be a person of color or a woman, one or the other. Because I'm tired. I'm tired of the same.
Let's not act like people aren't looking at that kind of stuff after dark. Okay, so I mean, you know, it's all good. It's okay.
Now, with all that being said,
go ahead with me.
Now, just really quick. With all that being said, the CW panders like it's nobody's business, though. Like, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
And really quick to piggyback off of that, because we all know that Thunder is a lesbian on Black Lightning. I'm just mad that they kind of made her a fuckboy. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Okay?
Yeah.
They made
She
her
is.
a lesbian version of a fuckboy, and I do not like it. Okay, some of that stuff she be saying, I'm like, really? That's like every
Hey,
fuckboy line coming out of her mouth. But that
maybe
again,
even fuck boys need representation. I don't
yeah,
know.
that's true. You are right about that. You are so right about that. Okay, let's go ahead because we only got a little bit more time. Let's go ahead and talk about the mixer, and then we're gonna try to jam in a little bit of the current events too. So go ahead and talk about the mixer announcement.
So yes, Microsoft has announced that they are shutting down the game streaming platform Mixer. I believe it's going to continue on until sometime in July. I believe the date I saw, I think, was July 22nd. I may be wrong, but it's basically going to be until next month, and then they're shutting down. And apparently, they are kind of, I guess, trying to migrate like a lot of the people over to Facebook Gaming.
I don't know how I feel about
which
that.
is I honestly, compared to they actually have like an industry breakdown, and apparently Mixer was like the lowest percentage as far as like content being watched.
That's because they gave all that boy that money. What was that streamer? They gave him like
Ninja
$20 million and didn't do nothing.
It's like Ninja and a couple of other people. I think like the other guy's name was Shroud.
Yeah.
But yeah, like apparently I actually have like the figures in front of me. Apparently by percentage, Twitch obviously got I guess like a yield by year growth, I guess, or whatever, something like that. But they had got their number one, YouTube is number 2, Facebook Gaming is 3, and Mixer is dead last, but it has like the absolute least amount of people who watch in comparison, because it's compared to everybody else, it's a very low number. Like I think
and they also didn't really advertise it all that great. Like they didn't really, like I said, they gave a couple, like 1 or 2, especially Ninja. Like I said, they paid that boy like 21 or $22 million.
Yeah,
like he was their main streamer, but they poured so much into him.
Yeah.
And not really into the fact that it is a platform. It's for platform sharing. It's for other people gaming to share their stuff.
Right. And what's very interesting about that is that, with that being said, like Ninja and Shroud and whoever else that they made deals with, a lot of those guys apparently like made like deals to where like they basically are their own free agents now, so they can really go anywhere.
They can go and see it. Look, it wasn't exclusively tied to Mixer.
It's like they did like initially try to just buy them out, like contract them out like outright to where he exclusively streamed over there, but apparently whatever the case may be, it didn't bring in those numbers, so they are packing it in. And they're free to go anywhere they want now, and they still making bank. So it's like they making free agent money and whatnot. And I've only streamed on Mixer for a little while, and their setup is a little strange. Like they have like a nice aesthetic, but I think like overall the way it's set up, it's a very, very strange setup, especially with like they don't have like people's content like stay on there. Like everybody's like, I don't know if it's for everybody. It might be different from like probably like affiliate streamers on there, but like I know like anybody else that streams on there regularly, like they like everyone else's content has like a 2-week expiration date. So so it's like after 2 weeks, whatever stream that you had on there is just gone.
Dang.
So I don't know how it is for like people that partnered over there, but it is kind of interesting. But they really they really have very, very poor numbers in comparison to the other platforms. I think during a period over the year, like they only had like a 0.2% growth, which is nothing. So
for all the stuff that Microsoft does well, I'm like some of their advertising and showcasing has always been terrible. It's just For all the money that they make and the things, I mean, because they do a lot of things well. Their system is really where the power of their consoles work really well. They've had backwards compatibility for like a minute. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You don't have like you could some of the things where PlayStation was charging members to like change their gamer tag, and then you could lose all your history. You ain't have to, like Microsoft did that fine, and they didn't charge it. You can only do it like I think twice a year, I think. But other than that, it was okay. So other than that, it was fine. Like they have a smooth transition between the different Xbox consoles and PC. I mean, and I love the fact that they are. I think even still right now, they're the only major gaming company that has an adaptive controller for people with disabilities. It's what they do is honestly it's fantastic, but their advertising and not showing things that they need to show and all that other kind of stuff, it's actually truly terrible. Like I will admit it's not good at all.
They don't utilize a lot of the stuff, I think, like for like the larger platform and stuff, because like I still feel like it was a disservice that they just like stopped support for the Kinect on Xbox One.
Yeah,
and it was just like, and it's like, dude, like this is such a useful peripheral that you guys are taking advantage of. Yeah, and like, granted, they are using it in other areas, but it's like for the gaming side, it's like, dude, like, it's like as much as I'm a PlayStation guy, like the thing is, you guys like Kinect is miles above like the PlayStation camera, and it's like. And it's like, like between that and it's just like that, and like they don't really focus enough. In my opinion, they haven't focused enough, like as far as like putting out really good first party games like across the board. It's like they've done well by like having the third party support. Like I think that's been like what's really been carrying them. But it's like if they actually take advantage of you supposedly having this most powerful machine, it's like, okay, that's all well and good, but like what games do you have that's going to take full advantage of this machine?
Because in all honesty, unless you care about specs, which like average people kind of don't really know the true power of the spec list, right? So when you see specs of gaming systems, unless you truly understand that stuff, or some of you are PC gamers, for other people that don't kind of do all of that, you ain't really gonna know. You gonna be like, okay, what's the storage, battery life? You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's where the limit.
It's gonna take for my game to load. Like, do I gotta wait? Days. You know what I'm saying? What games you have. So you're right. They bought I think like 4 or 5 studios going on 2-3 years ago now, and we're still waiting.
They bought several. They bought several.
But we're still waiting to hear what these titles are. Even if it's just like a quick announcement of what they're even working on. Like, give us something. Like, there has been no chatter, no announcements, no nothing since they revealed all those gaming studios that they bought a couple of years ago. So we're just kind of waiting. And as we all know, PlayStation has legacy games, kind of like with God of War, and stuff like that. Xbox obviously has Gears of War 5. But as we all know, Gears, this next game might be the last Gears installment. It should be, because how long are you gonna keep fighting?
It's like, look, at this point, it's like, look, Halo, it's like when they moved on from Halo, they went on to Gears, and then they pushing Gears as far as they can go. Now they're trying to go back to Halo. It's just like, look, say what you want about Sony, but Sony has like a lot of IPs that they can rely on top of making new ones.
Yeah.
So it's like, because it's like, look, they made Horizon, they made Ghost of Tsushima, they started the Marvel Spider-Man games. Yeah. They're reviving Ratchet and Clank. Yeah. It's like, it's like they have a lot of stuff that they can rely on now. And it's like it's like they moved away from trying to rely on like one or two IPs. It's like they have like a lot of stuff. It's like it's like Uncharted. Uncharted is another one.
That's true.
Last of Us.
Even God of War.
It's God of War.
PlayStation.
See, that's why we're saying like God of War is kind of a legacy, because it's been around since like the first first or second PlayStation. So it's kind of
Part
like
one.
Halo. Yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah.
Halo, where Halo's been around since like the first 360. You know what I'm saying? And it's just
Right, it's been around since like 2000.
So many franchises. It's ridiculous.
And another thing is, even I also do, while they're working on trying to get those titles, I also need them to work on getting exclusive rights to games first, even if it's not solely an Xbox title. Like what's happening with like what happened with the Final Fantasy remake.
Oh
It's not
yeah, the
coming out on
timed
Xbox till next year.
Oh
You
yeah,
know
the
what I'm saying?
timed
Like it's not an exclusive PlayStation title, but PlayStation got it, like, is going to get it like a whole PlayStation users are getting it like a whole 6 months before, or maybe a year before it comes out on Xbox. Like, I need for Xbox to secure, even if the game is going to be played on all consoles, I need them to secure it where you get, rights to it. Like, maybe we can play it first, or you get more exclusive content. Like, those are a couple of things that Xbox does not do well at all. And again, with how big it is, you would think they would be doing better by now. Do you think they would be? So I will give that, but I just feel like there's a lot that Xbox does, but they do not showcase and they do not advertise well at all, and they don't secure that bag.
They don't. You are so correct.
I gotta say that for sure.
Okay.
And so we are getting ready to so really quick, Cassio, I'm gonna tell you this really fast because you had asked a question about Facebook gaming. Basically, Facebook gaming sounds exactly like what you think it is. You get to post your streaming on directly, like, even you can do it right now. I think PlayStation you can. I know Xbox, there's already like a Facebook icon on Xbox where you can share your streaming and share your gaming recordings directly to your Facebook account. Wow. I think PlayStation can do the same thing. If not, it'll be coming. But it sounds like, obviously, with Mixer going away, it's like Microsoft obviously is teaming up with Facebook, where you could honestly do kind of what's happening now. You can stream directly on Facebook. So for people who may have like a large Facebook following, but maybe didn't have a lot of people on Mixer, or maybe don't have a lot of people on Twitch, it's a way to get them noticed directly through Facebook. And whatever else, they already added a way for you to make gaming tournaments now on Facebook. Yep, that came out like, I think it was in the last week, maybe the last 2 weeks. They've added a
we got to get a gaming tournament in the EGOBN. We got to get some gaming tournaments going, baby. It's on.
That's
better to be on.
Why they had the largest
I
growth.
do 2 of those a year. I do one for Xbox and one for PlayStation. So I coordinate those and run those every year. I didn't this year because there was stuff going on, but we're going to resume that next year. So I might have to obviously test out the tournament tracking. And obviously this time I want to have a bigger cash prize, but they've now set that up, obviously, with, I think, in anticipation of, this thing with Mixer going away. Obviously it's a gateway into that. So who knows how many bugs it may have, what it may lag, how they're going to build on it, if they're going to monetize it somehow. You know what I'm saying? I don't know yet, but that's basically what it is. You'll be able to stream game, link it to your accounts, obviously your gaming accounts or whatever, and just stream directly to Facebook, which again, I think you can kind of do now, but or maybe you can just, I don't know, but I think you can that's what's going to be happening.
I think when it comes to PlayStation, like I think like they may have still, like, that's probably one of the reasons why they probably dropped integration with Facebook, because remember they dropped it last year.
Yeah.
So so they, I guess, like, they may reincorporate it later on, who knows, but like it does make sense, because like that shows why, like, I guess Facebook gaming had the biggest growth compared to the other two, because I think like it's just kind of crazy. Like Facebook gaming literally just came out of the gate and literally just swallowed Mixer,
because it's all your stuff. Like, if you're like, I currently, I don't know how, and I know Jensen gonna have something to say, okay, when I say this, but I currently have like 2,300 followers on my Facebook page. I don't know how. I assume it's because I'm a moderator in Planet, obviously, or admin in Planet, and somewhere along the way I just got 2,300 followers. So if I wanted to get into gaming, and if I wanted to, start not get into gaming because I'm already into gaming, but if I wanted to broadcast more, instead of me trying to establish myself on Twitch or on Mixer, where I don't really have that many, I can literally just like probably already explode on Facebook because I got over 2,300 followers. Like, you know, and obviously if we stream into something like Planet, that could bring some monetization possibly to Planet. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do that, because, you know, Planet is, and Jensen, correct me if I'm wrong, Planet's at 265,000 members, 270,
roughly.
Yeah,
like that.
actually, I got it up right now. It is. We are at 261,000.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
So for groups as big as ours, and for all the gamers that we have, tournaments that we may have, it could be a way to monetize it if that's something that Facebook decides to add on for groups of a certain size. So, you know, it'll, like I said, we just got to see, we got to see how it goes. So obviously everybody will know, because I will be starting the gaming tournaments up next year. So
yeah,
I like
hopefully
to do
they'll have it.
but
yeah. Hopefully they have it worked out by then, but yeah, like you said, Nintendo, that's
Nintendo still so,
they better get their mind right. You know, somehow they stuff together. You right?
Yeah, you know, we're gonna have to talk about Nintendo another time, because we ain't really talked about it. But I need Nintendo to catch up to a lot of things. But nice. So really quick, So really quick, we are at 9:30, which is normally our end, but. So I guess, did you guys want to spend like 10 minutes talking about Current really fast, or do you want to save it for next time?
I think Current needs to have like his own thing we could talk about instead of kind of rushing it.
I agree with Jensen.
Okay, so you want to save it?
100%. Yeah.
Okay, so so next, on our next podcast, we will talk again about current events, and current Black events, things happening in Black America. You know, we're going to talk about how the fact that, which Jerry brought up a good point, which again, we'll get into next time, about how I honestly think we're already in a race war already. Like, I just think there's been too many casualties to call it anything less. And with the way that Black people are getting attacked by regular citizens, as we've all seen, there's stories out there of delivery people getting spit on by random white folks, you know what I'm saying, for doing a job. Like we're already there. So we'll talk about that. And as we all know too, there was a young man that got shot in the drive-thru of Wendy's in Atlanta, and you know, the people of Atlanta burnt that location to the ground. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's still happening. You know what I'm saying? Like we still fighting, and you would think that officers around the country, departments, precincts, captains, whatever, would get the hint. And even you know, with the whole defund the police topic that obviously we can include next time too, but the defund the police topic, you know, you would think that a lot of these, you know, mayors and governors or whatever of these states need to come up with a reform on their end. Obviously, if they don't like what their communities are saying, then come up with some reform on your own where we don't have officers doing the most, because it's a problem, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not getting any better. So
don't really help when moms like walking out on the job because they can't do what they've been doing now. So it's like, oh, that's very telling.
You got police union leaders like saying that they're just going to stop. Police are going to stop doing their jobs because they don't like getting dehumanized. Well, okay. Is that what you want to do? Like,
but we can have our next kneeled on for 8 minutes and 30. You know, let's.
I just started monologuing, so.
Oh my goodness! Let's.
We're not to obviously rush the topic, the group, and I.
Hey, look, Zordon is trying to find the evil teenagers.
Yeah. So I mean,
that was my ringtone. I was
my bad. Called. Look, I didn't know if the planet was under attack, and you needed to go ahead and morph real quick, brother. I don't know.
Right. He just No, he said we good. We good.
Okay. Cool.
We can even have a special podcast next Monday to just talk about this if we want, so we can.
I would. Yeah. I think it's necessary, to be completely honest about it.
Well, we'll work on that after this. So. With that, any final thoughts about all the things we talked about today? Kyle, let's start with you. I'm sorry, I keep saying y'all.
No, it's cool. It's
finna get us all in trouble out here. Wait a minute.
You are forgiven.
Okay.
I'm gonna need that voice changer for reasons.
I need those ad-libs by certain characters.
Here's another one for you. You might like.
Oh man, me and Fallen Marvel gonna have to have a sidebar after this. Don't worry.
I like that. Yo.
Yes. But final thoughts, yes. Yeah, like DC stuff, we hope that they're going in the right direction. Just don't screw up. That's about all we can really say for that. Sony, they're doing their thing. Microsoft, y'all need to do better. You know, I'm just really quick, just really quick. EA, I don't know what y'all doing over there, but y'all need to get it together, like, because it really seems like
about EA next time.
Like, I'm not saying a whole lot, but yeah, y'all really need to get it together, because that little showcase y'all had like this past week was pitiful. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, that's my final thoughts.
All right.
Hammer don't hurt him.
Did you want to?
I just wanted to quickly kind of like really touch on how, you know, I'm actually looking a lot forward to the PS5. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to the Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 8 Village. I'm just looking forward to it.
Outlast Hill.
Hey, I know they change up, like Resident Evil changes up their formula every 3 games. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of following the Resident Evil 7 they had. So, you know, I'm with it. And until 9, hopefully they'll change something to 10. I'm actually very impressed that they're still even going on making games. But it's a fantastic franchise, just to say the least. As much as
they relied on it over the past 30 years, it's not surprising.
Hey, I you know, that is like, I can't even hate, but actually like, the game.
How many times did 1 through 4 get ported over from generation?
I know. I get it. But no, I'm just saying I'm very pissed about it. Even though the new PS5 was like a Wi-Fi router. We're not going to discuss that. But you know, the design aside, I'm very excited for it. And one last thing about the Last of Us thing that I really wanted to say, and really wanted to kind of put out to people is kind of like this. You know, people in the LGBT community have also been playing video games as well, and they have not really had a lot of opportunities to play as someone that they can relate to.
Right.
So the way I feel is, you know, if you guys have had all of these characters, all of these people that you can relate to, and you can play in the first person, a role playing game, an RPG, then why not just step aside for a second, allow for everybody else to enjoy the game, something that represents them, you know? It's like, give them a chance. You know what I'm saying? Aside from like judging it or giving it a bad review or whatever it is that you do, just let these people have something also. You understand what I mean? Like, let them have this. You know what I mean? Give them a chance to enjoy a game that represents, you know, a person that they can relate to. You know what I mean? Like, that's my words for Last of Us 2. Thank you all for listening to me. Still Cassio from Cassio Logic. Thank you guys.
All right, Jensen.
I'm just waiting to see what Xbox is gonna do. You know, like what they're gonna do, like in the next coming months. Seeing the price point on the next gen systems, and hopefully, maybe like I'm just wishful thinking, but maybe a opening day, Gears of War announcements for the next Xbox. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they would have to do some. Halo's already coming out day 1 on Xbox X. I feel they need another like major title that they haven't announced yet. Because you know, I know of course we're gonna get mad in 2K at launch as well. You know, then Halo, which was major. I feel they need like 1 or 2 more big time games. But honestly, with how their exclusive selection is,
slim pickings.
Yeah. Like they got the. I mean, of course, Gears is gonna come, but when? But I figure like it's a stretch. But day 1, unless they just happen to like break out like, yeah, we're gonna do exclusive Black Panther video game too. Day 1.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
Man,
oh my God! I think Microsoft sales would soar if they came out with some kind of an exclusive Black Panther game. It would soar.
Man,
how many Black people buying
that?
And they would have to make it console only, not PC. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like console only, so that way it would drive their console sales. Not anything against PC, but you know what I'm saying. They would have to do that.
But it's kind of funny because like even if it did, like they kind of technically would have to put it on PC because it's.
I guess because cross. I guess, yeah.
So, but
But you're right. Wait,
yeah.
let Jensen finish.
I know. It was just
okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. So yeah, just a little tidbit. The game that they said it also was going to have the fee upgrade on PS5 was Marvel's Avengers. Just want to throw that out.
Oh, cool. So my final thoughts. Or Jensen, were you done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. My final thoughts. Obviously, I echo all of you. Like I said, I think Microsoft can do better, and I really hope that they do, because you can't. Again, Gears of War is coming to an end. Like, we done went through Marcus and crew. Now we're going through his son and crew. You know what I'm saying? Like, when this is done, you got to have something else to replace it that can be just as iconic, I think, because Gears is iconic, just like God of War is iconic. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to have something, and it was supposed to be Scalebound. Okay, I'm still bitter about that. Okay, the Dragon that didn't get made, or it got made and it didn't keep getting funded. I'm a little hurt. I'm not going to talk about it because it's a rant, but it was supposed to be, Scalebound. So hopefully they come up with something. I agree. I echo Cassio's thoughts about Last of Us. Like Jensen and obviously Fallen Marvel said, I mean, it's 2020, y'all. I mean, like, at some point we're gonna have to get over it, because more LGBTQ characters are coming. More, hopefully Black male and female lead characters are coming in RPG games, not just fighting games, obviously, because fighting games is a dime a dozen, but more RPG games. Like, we got to get over this, because it's not necessarily about you; it's about the story. Yeah. And in this case, her being a lesbian is part of her story, and therefore is a part of the game, and that is okay. Okay, because I done played as girl, shagging Triss. I shagged Triss a couple of times. Okay, and then I went to Yennefer. You know what I'm saying? At the end, I mean, in the picture. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so we done lived the white male hetero life.
we done lived it. We done already done it. You know what I mean? We gonna need some kind of like variety up in here. Y'all got to stop playing. You feel me?
Just let it go. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right.
Right.
And those are kind of we talked about all of that. I'm definitely think I'm gonna check out what was it, God of High School on Webtoon, because I do need a new Webtoon to watch since Lore Olympus is on hiatus right now. I think I'm gonna check it out. So thank you for the rec on that. I think I'm gonna check it out on Webtoon and read it a little bit. And just be safe out there. I think that's gonna be my little ending thing until we can have some kind of a normal life again. Just be safe out there, y'all. And that includes my people here on the podcast. Be safe out there. You understand?
Thank you. Absolutely.
I don't want to read about
I got a son to raise.
I don't have to feel money, but EJOBN
I might have to strap up.
Help fill out if that's the case. So just be safe out there. You know what I'm saying? Jensen, you got a podcast coming up that you and Fallen Marvel? Y'all got podcasts coming up?
I've dropped 2 the past couple weeks. I did Betty Ray Bill about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I did Blue Marvel last week. And
can you tell people where to find it?
Yeah, of course. Anchor, Apple, I'm saying the name too. Anchor, Apple, Spotify, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Breaker.
On your level. What am I doing?
Follow Jensen's World, JENSEN, 'VS World. I have 14 to 15 episodes out.
Nice.
Just follow me, man. I don't have a timetable certain content when I drop them. It's just kind of, I just get them when I can and get them out. So yeah, just find me on there. Also Instagram, JStar1906. And I was lurking in the streets of Planet EG, Extraordinary German Black Nerd. I'm always in the streets in there.
Okay.
Sorry.
You having club time up in here? Who's that?
No, I'm sorry. My baby just put up a new TikTok. I'm so sorry.
Oh my
It's
god.
like,
I'm
wow.
Oh
sorry.
my god.
I'm so sorry. My baby just put a new TikTok.
Oh
I had to
my
wipe my
God.
little girl. I'm sorry.
Fallen Marvel. What's your podcast, and
So-
where can they find it?
You guys can just search The Fallen Marvel, all one word. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, gaming, of course. You can also find us in the EJOBN group. You know, you can always find me in there. And the soon to be defunct Mixer, you can find me over there too. You can also just look up Good Guy Games 3G, also Culture Junkies. We're on like every I almost said Saturday night, almost every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. 7 Central and stuff. And for the gaming stuff, you know, you can catch me throughout most of the week, finishing up Spider-Man, and also going to start Last of Us, leading into Last of Us 2. So you can just find me, subscribe,
Just find you on
like
the
all that stuff. Just find me. Just Google me. You'll find me.
Cassio, do you have a podcast too, or
I don't have a podcast as of yet. I will
right.
be. I am planning on starting a podcast. I don't want to give the name away of it just yet because it's still in a working working title. But you can find me Cassio Logic on YouTube. My YouTube channel right now is going to be the main outlet. But I've also just recently it's actually Cassio Entertainment. But you know, you can still find it under Cassio Logic, and that's the same as TikTok. That's the same as Instagram. Almost every social media platform you can find Cassio Logic. For all my content. So yeah, so right now, and what I would love to ask the members of EGOBN, if they're willing to do so, by all means. Like I said, I just got out of film school, and I'm just reopening my YouTube channel. So being patient with me about that is really helpful. And also, if anybody has any comments about things they would love to hear me talk about, or any kind of things they would love to hear me do, I'm definitely taking everything into consideration, because, I want to engage the audience, and I want to give people what they want, like give them what they want. Give what they want. Right. You know what I'm saying? So by all means, yeah, please check me out. Please, Cassio Logic on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. By all means, check me out, please. Thank you so much, by the way, EGOBN.
All right. Obviously, I'm Medusa maybe 81 on Instagram. Again, Medusa, I like Greek mythology, so that there goes that. My gamer tag is Black Mamba 1981. Obviously, you can find me on Xbox Live. I currently run the Planet Journey of an Extraordinary Black Gamer group on Xbox Live. So obviously, I'll be plugging that in too. Feel free to join. With that, King Light Skin dropped off. So I want to thank everybody for being on tonight. I think we covered a lot of good things, and we will catch y'all next time.
All right.
All right.
And we are out.